Hi, this is Dr. Chino Bay Aguilera from Chino Bay Cosmetic Dermatology, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm gonna illustrate today my HT Skull technique with Radius Plus. Radius Plus is a filler that is not only a power lifter, but it's great for contouring. For a man, I believe that Radius Plus is the best filler because since it's stiff, it's better to create more contouring on the face. For a man, everything has to be a right angle, very chisel. That delineates male beauty. Male beauty is bossy brown, strong cheekbones, strong chin, and a square jawline. So if you use a product like hyaluronic acid, which I think works really well for a woman, but for a man it looks a little bit too puffy, too doughy, feminine. If you use hyaluronic acid, then you have to pick a hyaluronic acid that has a higher G prime. Radius Plus is a hybrid between a gel and a biocollagen stimulator. So not only I'll be able to lift the mid-face on Marcelo, but I'll be able to give him some contour. So it's a lot more masculine, give more definition. So in a few minutes, we'll be able to illustrate this technique with Radius Plus HD. So as you can see here, I use Hinder's line here on Marcelo to illustrate where the apex of his cheekbone is. For a male, the apex is a little bit more medial and inferior. If Marcelo was a female, the apex would be here, which is a little bit more lateral and superior than a male. For a man, it's really easy because usually when you do have a male that needs volumization at the apex, they will tend to have a little dent in there, so you'll be able to identify it really, really quickly. When we're doing fillers on a male, again, you need to respect sexual dimorphism, meaning that what you do on a male is completely different than you would do on a female. For example, when we work on a male, we want to be a little bit more inferior to the zygomatic arch than when we are on a female, almost going straight back. When we do on a female, we want to be on the superior aspect and a little bit more of an angle. That tends to be a lot more feminine. So that's rule number one. And also remember that the apex of a male is in a different position than a female. The technique of HT Skull, high definition sculpting with Radius Plus, is very, very easy. What we're going to need as material is a 25 2.5 gauge cannula, and we will be using the provided needle. As you can see, I left the apex of Marcelo there for illustration, and I marked the zygoma and zygomatic arch in order to do the HT Skull technique. I'm going to do a little numbing in order to anesthetize the area. And what we're gonna do is then do a little tiny prick to make a little hole to guide my cannula. Now this is a 25 gauge cannula, and what I like to do is not at the apex of the man, but I go about close to the malar eminence, or where the area of the apex of a female would be. We enter and we go super periosteum, always knowing where the tip of the cannula will be. And then I inject retrograde. I feel the product pushing on my fingers, allocus of about 0.5 to 0.1, and accentuate the cheekbone just like that, right in the middle of it. Then I'm going to switch to the provided needle and then bring the patient upright and put about 0.2 cc at the apex. So I will erase. It's always good to remove the markings. These products are meant to be sterile, so we don't want to drive any pencil, any ink into the product, because that can cause problems in the future. But as you can see, the cheekbone is more accentuated. Right now it looks a little bit maleficent or to accentuate it, but it's just a little bit of inflammation. Once the inflammation goes down, it's gonna look very natural. Now I go at the apex of the cheekbone. Open your eyes. His eyes are my guide. And close your eyes. And I'm gonna go in here and put about 0.2 cc of product at the apex, elevating the mid-face. After that, my job is really easy. You can come back in areas. If you choose to accentuate the cheekbone more, little aliquots of 0.05, trying to make the cheekbone look a lot stronger. Now for the rest of I'm gonna switch to a cannula and I'm gonna work on the nasolabial fold and trying to increase some volume in the submalar area. Doing a little anesthetizing, creating a little hole to introduce the cannula, and we're gonna use the rest of the product. How you didn't see it. To create some volume and blending. This is an intradermal technique. I'm trying to blend or imitate the volume loss that Marcelo has lost some weight, so he's trying to experience a little mid-facial descent. And as you can see here, if you check one side versus the other one, we have a cheekbone that it is pronounced right now due to inflammation. You can tell that once that goes down compared to this side, the treated area is more elevated and it's going to have a lot more contouring. Again, Radiesse is a very inflammatory product, it irritates the skin. So the patient should be aware that when you use Radiesse, either you put a supraperiosteum or intradermal, there is going to be experiencing some sort of inflammation. By tomorrow it should look more natural. So this is the nature of the product, but this is the technique. Recapping, using a 25 gauge cannula, just go from the hairline to the malar eminence and inject retrograde little aliquots of 0.05 to 0.1, and then you just go to the apex and inject 0.2. The apex, whether you male or female, will always receive 0.2 of product, and the rest is just blending and imitating the deep fat compartment that has been lost with the weight loss. This is HD Skull with Radiesse Plus, Dr. Shinobe Aguilera.